I like that. I like just to measure and compare and see how I'm doing, let's say, to other people. Not, let's say, trying to be more competitive, but like to see really how other people's pace are.
I'm very competitive, man. When I run, like, if I see someone, like, behind me, like, there's no way this guy, like, is outrunning me, you know?
Yeah, but you know what's crazy, too? I like running other people that run faster than me because I do crazy fucking numbers.
Yeah, same.
Crazy numbers. This one time with my neighbor, he's much younger than me. But he's a black dude, a bit taller, he's long legs. So we start running and he's always like the first kilometer, he's always like, let's say we did 2 kilometers. So he's always, let's say, maybe like a meter in front of me, but I'm keeping up. So once we do a turnaround on the block and he slowed down, so I'm the one who caught up. But he went back far, like quite far. But one moment, since there's like one moment like in the street, you see, he just gassed it. And he gassed it like he went past me, and he went past me like easily. When we finished the run, he passed him by the easy, man, like I would say maybe like nearly 20 seconds. Just on that gas film. Fuck, that's great. I can't catch up. So it's fun.
You know, it's something I think like among runners, it's not something we talk about, but it's so competitive. Competitive, right?
It's like, nice. And I'm going to make an introduction because hold that thought. I like that. So, guys, welcome to Yellow Seat, the most diversified business entrepreneurship podcast. And I was thinking about myself, how I was going to say this intro, and I want to add to it in Canada. Fuck it. We go big. Go big or go home.
That's it.
And today, I have this guest. Look, he was brought to me, and I just, after talking 10 minutes, I'm like, damn. Hugo Martinez, who is going to show us the most expensive jacket for you to wear this summer. Even if it's going to be hot, you still want to wear that.
That's it.
That's it. Hugo Martinez, what's up? How you doing?
I'm good. Yourself?
Good. Thank you. Thank you.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm glad you came last minute, things like that. So I find like discovering people like that is just the greatest thing.
It's always last minute with me. There's no plan. I never plan things. Always like that.
And I love what you were saying just before we got into this introduction, like the runners discussion. So we were saying, trying to be very competitive. So I guess this is something out of your life that you, do you see everything in competition?
That's the thing. I'm so competitive, but at the same time, I try to, because I know it can backfire, Yeah. So I try to focus and always be on my lane. And because when you're competitive, sometimes you fall into a trap and you compare yourself to other people and where they are so that you can outpace them.
Have you fell into anyone's trap? Sorry to interrupt you.
Yes, of course. And even sometimes, like, even if I know about the trap, I still fall into the trap. So I always try to, when I think about someone else and what they're doing, that's when I know I'm not in the right mindset, and that's when I know that I need to change my mindset or go for a run.
I like that because go for a run is such a therapy. That's
yes.
I promote it as much as I can, and people that follow me must be tired of hearing me seeing all this shit. But guys, if I'm doing it just for a fucking reason, there's a consistency, there's like a performance, there's a competition inside you.
You said it, consistency.
I
run every day, Sunday to the next Sunday,
winter?
Not less than 10K every day, winter too. And
sleep?
Why? Because I need that in my lifestyle, and it's kind of a way to kick your butt, and also to kick the day. You know what I mean? To start on a good note. And actually, this morning I said, you know what? I need to run, because if I don't run, I'm not gonna be at my best during this podcast. So I ran like 12K this morning. And
you know what's a metaphor then, based on what you just said, that I feel myself to as being a competitive person, is that sometimes that I run and I have to run because I have to burst out. But I need to like feed the I need to feed the darkness sometime inside. So like that it could be easier to, so things are more easy going after. Sometimes there's just this burst of energy. I don't know about you, if you feel like I just need to feed as much as I can. So like that, I can be more calm. You feel better, rested. Like there's a rest in the mind. And I find that when I talk about running, it's a lot of mental things.
But like, what kind of darkness are you talking about?
I don't know, just this hunger of like, because sometimes, like you said, like you could have sometimes of like negative thoughts, and these negative thoughts are just distraction.
About stuff or about yourself?
A variety of things. Let's say if there's a conflict in your life going on right now, this is going to like be in your head, and you're going to try to solve it out. And then you always have, let's say, two voices talking to you, one telling you the good thing, the other one telling you some dark shit. And that's the shit that dark one talking, you talking because you have energy. But if I go run and feed you and tire you out, I don't have that negativity shit y'all going on. I just have like, the positive, let's say, like voice that just keeps you going to next thing. You feel like that? I'm just going crazy.
No, I feel that way too. And
good,
when
I'm not alone.
Yeah, and when I run, also what I do is I pray. I pray to God. And I ask God to bring me good things in my life. Okay. I do that every time I run. And yeah.
Do you listen to music? Or
I never listen to music.
You just listen to air in your
I want to say personally, I think music is the worst. Because music, when you run, when you do, let's say, long distance, or when you want to get better at running, there's a point where you really have to push the limits, your limits and your boundaries. And to do that, you need to listen to yourself, and you need to kind of like dissect your mind and know, like, okay, right now I think I'm at my best performance, but I can go above that. But if you have music on, you cannot hear.
But you distract yourself with music.
You cannot hear that dialogue in your head. So your voice, maybe unconsciously, you're gonna quit, and you don't know that you're in the process of quitting because your music is so high, so high. So unconsciously, you have a voice that is winning over you. You have your body that is quitting, and you don't even know because you have the music so high, and you're like, okay, it's fine. I'm listening to that new song, and then suddenly you just stop. Okay, I'm done, finished. You close the music. Let's go home.
Do you listen to podcasts?
Huh?
Do you listen to podcasts?
Yes. Not anymore, but I used to.
Because I ask, because I don't listen to music. I only put podcasts because I like to feed my brain while I'm running to new things, like a new education thing. But I like running also, nothing, just listen to air. And I calculated, I run faster.
Yes. If you look at your performances, your performance, when you don't have music, they're much higher than when you have music on.
Good.
Yeah, they're much higher. But you think you're better, but no, you're not. You're not, because music is a distraction. That's how I look at music. I listen to music in the car. I listen to music when I feel hyped, or when I have to calm myself, because sometimes I have to calm myself. I'm someone that is very like extreme. So I listen to music in those moments. But like when I'm running, I know that I have to be focused, and that's only also one of the reasons why I run, to bring focus to my life. So putting music is like taking out that superpower of focus.
That's it. But you see, I like everything we just said right now, because I just met you, and I got to find a point in common that we resonate alike, and we get to exchange on our habits on how we do this. But now I would like to get to know you in another sense. Really, tell me who you are. What is your childhood like, and what brought you to this idea? Are you an artist? Because a fashion designer, this is what I consider this fashion design. So I would assume the person that does it has some kind of artistry to themselves. And are you one? Because you seem like to be a sports guy too. Okay.
First of all, I don't consider myself as a fashion designer.
Okay.
I've never been to a design school. And
doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Title.
But I consider myself as someone who makes products with a soul. So
hold on. Say that again. What do you do?
I consider myself to be someone who makes product with a soul.
Bang. Hold on. So hold that thought. You just said some powerful shit right there. I like that. You do product with a soul.
Exactly.
I'm a marketer, and that should be the biggest tagline. Every time you do this, you tell them this is a product from the soul. Because I'm listening to
this jacket you see right here is a physical form of my personality. That's what it is.
Does that jacket have a name? What is the style?
The name is James, because James is the first and only person in the world to own my jacket.
Bang, James.
And it's James Goldstein. You should look him up.
The first James that comes to my mind is James Bond, but
no, James Goldstein.
I'm like, I do see James Bond on a motorcycle with this.
James Goldstein is one of the most iconic fashion celebrity in the United States, if not the world. And he is, to me, the Michael Jackson of being himself.
Yeah. That must be some eccentric person. So, all right. And is that James too, or that's another brand because the color?
So the design, this is one design. And it's only one design, and I changed the color. So I was scared at the beginning. I was like, okay, am I going to get judged by the people in the fashion industry because I only have one design, and they can be like, I was thinking a lot about what other people were thinking. And then I was like, no, wait a second. Like, the other products you see in the market, they don't have what I said, like the soul, you know? Mm-hmm. So my product has a story. My product has a personality, you know? So... yes, so the design here is the same I'm wearing right now, and I'm gonna make this product over and over again, but in different colors.
You know what I would like?
The name of that one I'm wearing is James too. Okay. That one too is James.
I would like to see this. You know what would be my style? It would be, let's say, the white, black, the red stay there, the thread in white would be great. Those are my colors.
Yeah, a lot of people say that.
I love that combination of colors. Any Jordans with that combination of colors with that. It's done. It's done.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it after
we'll
the podcast.
Talk about it. That will be fun. All right. So so product with a soul, the jackets. And you give it a personality. I like that, you know, the person that bought it. And it's something that you seem to well describe with this person. And I think it flows, you know, it's such a design that you feel that, you know, there's a personality to it. There's a soul. Mm-hmm. One thing I hear you say I heard you say quite a few times now is just that you seem to worry about what other people think quite a lot. I heard you say that a few times now. Yeah. I want to understand that because you said that, you know, the design is based on this, but you didn't know what people are going to think. Like, what is about that? Is it like, does it go way back?
Yeah, it goes way back. Yeah.
Tell me about it. This is one I want to go. I want to open that rabbit hole.
I don't even know where it started, but
teens.
I think it started because I wanted when I was a teen, I really wanted to feel accepted, and I was really, I had a bunch of insecurities, and I grew up in the Westmount, and it's not easy to admit that, you know, but I wanted people like in the neighborhood. If you don't know Westmount is one of the richest, the richest neighborhood in Canada. So I was there, and there was like all these big houses, nice car, and I lived. Are you
a rich kid? If I may ask.
I don't think I'm a rich kid. I'm for sure.
Well, you had resources. It was comfortable.
I grew up comfortable.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, comfortable, and I lived below Sherbrooke. So there's a thing that rich people say in the Westmount. There's the below.
What?
There's the lower Westmount, which is below Sherbrooke. It's so stupid. I can't believe I'm saying that. But
go for it.
and there's the upper Westmount, which is above Sherbrooke. And that's super important, especially for rich kids and even grown up adults, you know, in Westmount, like, okay, do you live below Sherbrooke or above? And that's how they will respect you. If you live above Sherbrooke, that means you have a lot of money, you know. So I was below Sherbrooke, and even like below Maisonneuve. So that's even more below. You know, it's below. below. But the house was nice, you know. It was a nice house, you know. But you always look at the what's the expression? The grass is always greener.
The grass is always green on the other side.
Exactly. So, and I met a friend. I don't want to say his name. We don't talk anymore. But he lived above Sherbrooke, and if he listens to that, he
will recognize himself.
Yeah, yes, exactly. And he lived in a huge house. He had like an elevator in his house, but not any type of elevator.
Glassy
it was a
one.
marble.
Oh, marble. On top of that.
Elevator.
Heavier.
Yeah.
So heavier mechanism.
So that kind of house, and I was so impressed by it. And I wanted to be accepted by him, and I wanted to be accepted by his entourage, So I was always like trying to fit in, and like be there, and just be cool with them. And it kind of worked, and we went out, we went to clubs together, we had fun, and so maybe it started there. Like I just wanted.
So where people like, it's interesting that you said like you have to describe absolutely below and above.
It's a weird thing, huh?
Because I understand. So like he accepted you, and like did his entourage also like accept you? Like
I don't even know. To be honest, I don't even know if they accepted me. I don't even know if they used me. I don't even know if I personally, and I feel bad of saying that, but I kind of used them, because it was not a real. It was not a real. To be honest, it was not
a shady relationship.
It was not a real friendship. I was not. I was.
They made fun of you.
Man, it was when I was a teen. Man, I was like. Now I'm 29. I was 18. I was 17 or 18, whatever. But like, it was a fake friendship, man. It was not like, It was a fake friendship, and I was trying. Like, I even like was buying shit I couldn't even afford to hang out with them. Not to hang out with them, but like to be accepted. Like I was that low, in terms of like
self-esteem.
Self-esteem, exactly. Like there was no self-esteem, to do stuff like that. And
Shit, all right. And how long did that relationship last? Like eventually,
maybe,
probably came to your senses.
So it lasted maybe 2 years maximum, something like that. And what happened is after at this time I was studying fashion marketing.
Okay.
And I had to do an internship, and that's a big story, okay?
Oh, I love big stories.
I cannot just drop it like that, but
okay.
I had to find it was a DEC, which is
to go cégep.
Yes, exactly. Not cégep, it's college.
College.
So it's like a technique. No, it's a technique. Yeah.
Technique shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a deck. Cégep.
Oh yeah.
Cégep shit.
Okay.
I skipped that one, by the way. I went straight to uni. Anyway.
Okay. So I had to find an internship for my program, and it was in fashion marketing. And again, I didn't have a lot of self-esteem, and I was scared of, not scared, I was intimidated by the fashion industry. And I didn't have the guts to apply to fashion companies to do an internship, because I thought I was not good enough. I thought they would pick someone else, So I went to I took a safe path, I called my friend. My friend has he has a restaurant chain in Paris, and I told him, like, can you have me an internship in a restaurant in marketing? He said, yeah, sure, no problem. And so I went to Paris. It was summer 2013, I think, or 2012, whatever. I went to Paris, and I worked for his family. And
how was it just switching like that?
Well, I was going to
Were you in the right place in your mind?
I was going to Paris, and I was going, in my mind, I was going there to work. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going there to work. And, I was in that phase of like, everything is possible, and you can do everything you want in the world, and the sky is the limit, I was in that phase. Like, I think a lot of people go through that phase at 20,
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's true too. But there's one thing I didn't know, and it's that maybe, yes, it's true that the sky is the limit, but the body is not the limit. The body has some limits, and you have
see
to.
where you're going with that.
So you have to learn that. If you push too much, you're gonna hit a wall.
So it was.
I didn't know that. So I went there, and I worked like a crazy guy.
Okay.
I worked so hard. At some point, like I was working well. Like they would move me from location to location. I worked at the most prestigious place in Paris, and like l'Opéra de Paris, Galerie Lafayette, dans le 16e arrondissement. So I was working, in good places, but I was working too much, and I was thinking about project like, maybe I should start this company, and maybe I should also like create a website and whatever. I was thinking about too many things, and I didn't sleep for 4 days, man. I didn't sleep for 4 days.
You crashed?
Huh?
You crashed?
No, wait. So, and I worked at the same time, and I was working well too at the same time.
Okay.
So at some point I started like, after 4 days, I started like seeing stuff, because if you don't sleep for 4 days and you work, and I mean like no nap, okay? You don't sleep at all.
hours, like 18 hours, let's say?
You're gonna see stuff, And I started seeing stuff, and I started.
What did you see?
I don't remember what I was. I don't
Dark
remember
stuff,
exactly. I was just seeing a lot of like. But that's not so important. Okay. But so yeah, I started feeling paranoid, and I didn't know what was happening to me. So I rushed to the hospital because I know something was. First of all, I went to my work and I said, "Excuse me, Mr. Frédéric, the manager, I cannot work today." And he looks at me. I look fine. It's like, okay, why? I'm not doing well. And it was like, what are you talking about?
Was it like a panic attack?
Okay, I need a doctor note, So I left and I went to the hospital, but I didn't have my papers with me. So they said when I got to the hospital, I knew something would happen. I didn't know what. So they told me we cannot do anything. You cannot meet a doctor without your paper. Okay, so I had to go back home. And when I went back home, I started feeling even more paranoid, and I started thinking that some people were after me or something like that.
Oh shit!
And yeah, so little did I knew, I was experimenting a psychosis, and so I was experimenting a psychosis.
Psychosis.
Yep, psychosis. Okay. Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I don't remember all of it, but I know that I ended up in a hospital and I got treated in Paris. And I didn't know what the psychosis was. And so I was confused, like, what's happening to me? I feel paranoid. I think some people are after me. And also, I have some type of like hallucination, I see stuff. And I was hospitalized there. I was put into some medication. It was a very traumatic experience.
And how long did it last, let's say, when you had that attack, that psychosis, I guess, and you arrived in France? How long did that happen? Like,
I think
how much overworkedness you...
I think it was a month and a half that I was hospitalized.
Oh, yeah, that soon?
I think it was something like that, yeah.
How long did you stay in France?
And when I was over there, I was in a kind of like a hospital that felt like a prison. It was so weird, man. I was with people that had much more serious problem than I had. and I had to eat at the same table of these people, and everybody was taking the most fucked up thing is everybody was taking the same med.
Oh,
and
shit.
because they didn't know, even them, like
shoe fits all.
they don't know what I'm going through. So maybe they knew it was a psychosis, I don't know, but they would just give me a random medication and hope that it would like kind of like make me sleep and make me calm, you know, because
But was that a hospital or a mental institution?
it was a mental institution. Yeah.
And they put you there for how long?
They put me there for maybe a month and a half.
Oh, shit.
I think a month and a half, maybe a month.
Your parents knew?
I would have to check. No, my parents didn't know.
Oh, they didn't know?
No, I was in a list of disappeared people in
What
Paris.
the fuck?
Yeah, yeah.
That took a twist.
Yeah. Because when I was paranoid, I broke my phone and I left my stuff, my luggage, everything. I was just like walking around Paris and yeah.
Okay.
I broke into a car to sleep, and that's when the police arrived and they put me in a jail. It was a crazy experience, man.
And you don't take drugs, you don't take nothing like that, like
no,
that could
no. Before that, I was smoking weed.
That's it.
Yeah.
No pills, no
No
extra shit.
No,
All right, cool. Because sometimes that could trigger these type of behaviors.
The trigger was the stress. The trigger was me not sleeping, and maybe the trigger was also smoking a little bit of weed. And all those things combined, and me not understanding that I needed some rest, you know.
All right. So,
but anyway, so I was hospitalized over there, right? And my parents contacted the authorities, and they finally found me. And yeah, my dad traveled to France to pick me up. Well, he couldn't pick me up. They brought me back with doctors, and then I was treated in Montreal. And thank God I was treated in Montreal. Thank God.
Well, you treated at home at least. Like if anything happened, like you're not that far. Like you're home.
It's more that like in
it's just better quality service.
From what I heard, from people in the field, it's that in France they don't really believe. Or it's not that they don't believe, it's they prefer to medicate patients and keep them in institution.
Than to try to treat.
But here in Montreal and in Canada, we believe in recovery. And we believe in people recovering from
I like that.
mental illness. Yeah.
That was so was that like the darkest chapter in your life?
Yes, definitely. It was a trauma.
Was it a motivation after for everything that happens?
Not really, no. Because after that, all I wanted was to live, and all I wanted was to have a kind of like, how do you say that? A repère.
All right.
How do you say that?
A repère. A purpose?
No. It's like
just like
let's say you go through something. And after, like, you look for somebody that went through the same thing, and that is successful today, and then you can be like, okay, like hopeful for a better future, and you can
like a role model.
Yes, kind of, but I couldn't find any. I didn't even know, like, no. Before my psychosis, I didn't know what a psychosis was, so I had no...
So you started doing research to say psychosis?
Kind of, a little bit, but then I was like, oh my God, there's nobody that wants to speak about that, nobody wants to share, and everybody is afraid to speak, so I didn't...
It's crazy because in the past weeks at the podcast, we had these type of conversation. And I find that people are opening, and also we are greeting people to come over here and discuss. At the same time, I'm at the end of the day, I'm more smarter, more educated on certain topics. But it's cool because other people are listening to and listen to these type of thing. Like overworking yourself is not a solution. It's not like really, like social media will push you. Because all right, I
still overwork myself, but I know what my limits are. Before, I didn't know what my limits were. So now I know.
Sky's the limit.
Yeah, exactly.
I could go no further than that.
I can work 70 hours a week easily. But I know that my body needs to rest. I know I need some sleep. You know, stuff like that I learned from.
So
yeah.
So all right. So now, right, that chapter is done.
But
and is there like a transition to really?
There you go. So there's a transition to what I do today.
Let's go.
So
bridge it.
Yeah. So when I was treated in Montreal, we kind of like. It was a long process. We had to find the right medication for me, and then after that, I had to take the medication. The medication were horrible, man. I lost my early 20s. I don't know what it's like to live the early 20s. I don't know. I never lived it.
The first 5 years?
The first 5, no, 3 years, okay. 4 years. Yeah, 4 years, I would say. And I would take medication. Like, let's say I give you 50 milligrams of the medication I was taking back then.
What is it? Just to bring awareness.
Wait. Okay. Yeah, that's not so important. Okay. But let's say you take 50 milligrams of that medication. I would have to take you from the couch and bring you to your car so you can go back home and you can sleep. I would have to drive the car too. I was taking 500 milligrams of that medication. So 10 times the dose that would make you sleep.
Well, I think it's important to know what kind of medication.
And I was taking that.
Curious.
I was taking that every day.
Is it Xanax?
So no.
Not even.
So I would have to take that every day, and from, let's say I would take it at 8, we kind of like schedule something that would work with me. Well, work, you know, and I would take it at 8 p.m. and then wake up the next day at 1 p.m. and that would be my life every day, and sometimes 3 p.m. So think about this: I only have 5 hours per day to live. Like, that's fucked up. And that, yeah. So, but the beauty of that medication was that every day that would allow me maybe 2 minutes of my day to think straight. So how I look at my situation back then is, let's say you have a giant puzzle right here in front of you, and the puzzle is all disrupted, and it's little pieces like that. And I tell you, you have to make an image with that. The puzzle is an image, and the image is your life. Uh-huh. And now build this image. So that was my mission.
Oh, okay.
So I had to build this image, and every day I would have to find. I would have only 2 minutes of the day that I could
pieces.
Think straight. Okay, this is my mom. She's really my mom.
It's crazy because it seems like
this is my dad, and this is my brother. You know, I was lost that deep. So then, okay, they are my family. Now let's build around this.
Oh shit!
And some days I would not be able to put the puzzle together, but you know, the next day I would use that 2 minutes that I would get from that medication to get focused and work on the puzzle.
So that medication put your mind in jail.
And they give you
2 minutes of freedom per day.
It made me numb and
just mellow, just like no life, just vegetable.
Exactly, yeah.
That's where the term comes from.
Yeah.
Shit.
And I didn't want to talk to anybody. So to answer your question,
so you didn't work. You didn't.
So I was not talking about those. I was not talking to those rich kids I used to talk with, and I didn't care about them anymore.
At that point,
yeah. And I just wanted. My goal was just to live, man. I just wanted to be normal. I just wanted to be outside and be able to walk like a normal person, you know. And I didn't know if it was possible, because
what would happen if you didn't take those medication, and why?
I would not sleep. I would just not sleep. If I didn't take them, I would not sleep, and I would maybe feel paranoid, you know.
Okay, I get it. So even your parents recommended it, like.
Yes, exactly.
Because me as a parent, like, I don't know how I would react, but my best scenario would be to try like keep my kids away from these and try to find alternate solutions.
But you have no choice. You have no choice, and also you listen what the experts say. And I had no choice to listen to the experts, because the experts wanted the best from me. I had a lot of confidence in my doctor, and I really
That's tragedy.
He's the only one that could treat treat this what I was going through, you know. So
there's a problem in the system.
So yeah, so he told me.
So how long were you in that routine? A year, 2 years?
Maybe 3 years. Yeah.
3 years as a vegetable.
Oh no. Like 2 years as a vegetable. Yeah.
Fuck. So
Not a vegetable. I don't want to say that. That's too.
Yeah, no, but just
yeah.
on the very.
No, I was fighting for 2 years. I was fighting. I was.
You were right.
Maybe I was numb. Maybe I was zombie. But I was fighting, and I was fighting.
So you open. So 2 years after, what was the trigger that just were you able to control? Let's say the voices, I guess.
There was no voices,
or just the anxiety, because.
So what we tried with my doctor, because the medication were so intense, so my doctor said, okay, let's try to reduce the medication and let's see what happens. So we would reduce the medication, and at some point we reduced it so much that it was like, okay, so now it's on you. Now it's you that you know how you feel. You know if you feel paranoid or if you feel anxious, or it's a sign that we should bring the medication back up. So it's you that needs to judge if that's the right amount you take. So now the doctor was giving me a huge responsibility, right? Shit. He was telling me, you now control
your life.
Yeah, exactly. So I learned about how to listen to myself and how to monitor myself, and so I reduced the medication over time, and eventually, well, it took a lot of work. I reduced to a point where I didn't need the medication anymore. So yeah, and that's been like 3 years now that I'm completely off the medication.
Congrats.
Yeah.
Did you find maybe a hope to in working out, running? Did you run before those intense 10K a day before, let's say, that episode? Or was it after that episode that you felt maybe like running would bring you to something else?
Okay, so there's something between that,
yep.
And it has to do with the jacket. Yeah.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
the product of the soul. So there's a soul. It's nice.
Yeah. So when I came back to Montreal from that psychosis episode, I was really not well in my head. And also, my parents were in the process of splitting up. And I always put the bar high. Always. And I wanted to go back to school. And I ended up going back to school. So I had five hours of the day where I could kind of be there, but I was there. So in school, I was in the corner of the class, super awkward. It was super hard, And at home, there was this toxic environment.
Damn.
And in my head, I was not well. So home, school, in my head, so I knew I had to do something. If I didn't do anything, nobody would help me. So now it was not the job of my parents, it was not the job of the doctor, only it was my job. So I remember my parents were fighting at the table. My dad was fighting. My dad, I feel like he didn't really care. Not that he didn't really care about what I was going through, because he was really not considering me. And though I was not considering my situation, he was just fighting in front of me with my mom. And my mom, I knew she was dealing with her own shit. So
you felt left out?
I just, no, it's just, I understood they had their problems, but I said, okay.
So you have to do it.
I have to find a solution. So I left the kitchen while they were fighting. We were eating, My dad ran after me. Don't leave the
talking mad shit.
The kitchen while we eat. And then I ran. I picked his keys and I drove. I drove. My cell phone was ringing. My dad calling me. I just closed my phone. I said, I don't know if I'm coming back home tonight, but I got to go somewhere. I got to do something for myself, because if not, I'm heading to a dark path,
Again,
And no, but maybe a path that I would not be able
That
to.
you don't want to go to. You're
Exactly.
Trying to escape.
Yeah. So I drove. I went on Sherbrooke Street, and then I turned on Descaries Boulevard, and I saw the big orange julep. And I used to go there with the rich kids. You know, we would go there, have a orange julep, chill there, and then just go back to Westmount. You know. So then I was like, oh, let's stop there and let's have this orange juice and feel what it was when I was normal, you know, when I was okay, when I was healthy.
Yeah.
So then I went there, I picked the orange juice, and I took the highway. Then I was like, okay, let's take the exit there. I took the exit, and I went, I saw the Rolls-Royce dealership. Okay, let's park there. Let's kill some time, because that's what I need right now. I need to kill some time. I need to stay away from
straight.
all of this. So I parked in front of the Rolls-Royce dealership, and I didn't care about the Rolls-Royce. I didn't care about their value or about people look at Rolls-Royce, they're all impressed. They're like, oh my God, and that's luxury, and that's like people that drive this are super rich, and no, I didn't give a fuck about that.
Maybe another metaphor about Rolls-Royce, what it signified?
I just wanted to kill time, look at the cars, and understand why people are crazy enough to spend $500,000 on a car, you know? So I parked in front of the cars, and I had my orange juice. I sipped on the orange juice, and I look at the car, you know? Okay, let's try to understand. Okay, nothing much to understand. Let's continue the drive. So I left. But when I left, I was like, my God, now I'm ready to go back home. And I'm ready to face my dad and fight, you know? Whoa. That's the first time I've been feeling like this for a long time.
Shit, though.
So let's do it again.
Got a spark.
Let's do it again tomorrow. And after tomorrow. And every day. So every day I would take my car, I would take an orange juice from Julep and park in front of Rolls-Royce, Bentley, Ferrari, and just look at the cars. And in this process, I kind of like started to understand the perfection of a Rolls-Royce car. I started to see the lines and see the special colors, see the grill, see the silhouette of the car, and be like, oh my God, this is a perfect car, actually. Okay, now I understand why people spend $500,000 on those cars, you know? So I did that for a year, you know? Yeah. And a year, like this routine helped me more than the medication. And that's when I saw really an improvement in my health.
Wow.
Okay? Yeah. And but after, like everything, let's say you love a song, you listen to it over and over again. After 100 times, you don't have the same fun and the same excitement as the first time you listened to that song. Mm-hmm. So that's what happened in my car.
So eventually, you didn't feel the same spark,
no.
But you were
No. What happened is that I started to feel anxious in the car.
Oh.
But now this was very bad because I didn't know what else I could do. And that was life-threatening, you know?
Because you felt that feeling
because
again.
My car was my only way for me to escape all the stress. So I was like, if I don't feel good in the car, then I'm fucked. What can I do more?
What's next?
So I was crazy a bit, you know? So I looked at my car. I said, "Car, what can you do for me? Car, can you take me somewhere else? Can you do more for me?" This car said, "No, I did enough for you, Hugo. Now it's your turn. Now it's your turn to find something." And I was in front of the Ferrari dealership on Jean Talon. I said, "Okay, fine, car. I'm gonna find something." God damn. I looked at the Ferrari cars. And I looked in front of me. I said, oh my God, I know what to do. I'm going to make a product that makes me feel in my car.
Poof.
I'm going to make a product that whenever I wear it, I'm driving around Montreal. And I'm 24/7 in my car. Not making this for other people. I'm making this for myself. For me to feel better and for me to heal from my trauma.
Wow.
And then I was like, oh my God, now I know what to do. Thank you, car. So then I drove. And now the circuit I was taking, because I was taking the same street every night, but it was not for the same reason anymore. Now I was driving and thinking about how can I make this product. And then that's why I said there's a soul in that product. That's the story behind that jacket, you know. So then I was like, okay, what do you find inside every car? Because I want to be connected to my car. What do you find inside every luxury cars? Oh, leather. You have leather. Oh, you have the material. I cannot just make a brown leather jacket and put it on you and say, now you're going to feel in a car. You wear the brown leather jacket, you're going to look at me like you're fucking crazy, you know? Or like, how many billions I need in marketing to convince people that this stupid product makes you feel in a car? No. I need a real product, a real personality, something that is really connected to cars by the material, by the design, by the colors, you know? Mm-hmm. So now I say, okay, I cannot do everything at the same time. Let's start with one thing. Let's start with material. Let's start with leather.
Leather, boom.
Yeah, exactly. And Ferrari tomorrow, they can make a brand. They made a brand, actually. And Porsche can make a brand. They have a brand, actually. But it's for Porsche. It's for Ferrari. It is, you know? I want something that is connected to all the cars despite their different DNA. So what do you find inside every car? Oh, no. It's even before the material. Every car can make you dream. And every car gives you a different feeling. And every car can give you some motivation and can give you some drive, you know. So you have dream, you have feel, and you have drive. Dream, feel, drive. Okay, that's a slogan.
Dream, feel, drive.
That's a slogan.
Okay, shit. That's a fucking...
let's put those words into a physical form. You know? Okay. So I start with leather. I did like everyone here would do. I just ordered a bunch of sample books from all the tanneries. A tannery is a place where they make leather. And I ordered a bunch of sample books. I got all those samples books on my desk, in my room. Yeah, so my mom came and she said, what the heck is this? You know, why do you have all those book of letters? I'm like, oh, I want to find the best letter in the world. And she's like, oh my God, just, you know, you're still crazy. Find a job, you know. Just go find a job, Hugo, you know. And then I was like, oh my God, I have to hide this from her, and I cannot talk to her about this anymore, you know. So anyway, I researched and I found, like, you know, some books from maybe, let's say from 50 books, I found like 3 that I could tell that, okay, this is the best.
Do they come from specific countries?
I'm very sensitive, so with the touch, so I knew that, like, okay, these ones really, they're the best, you know. And I was like, but from these 3 books, which one is really the best? I cannot tell. I don't have the experience. I'm a nobody, you know. So I was like, maybe this is not the right approach, you know. Let's scrap this approach. And I put everything in the garbage. I'm not even kidding. I put all those books in the garbage. And I studied the process of leather. I studied why there's why roses are pink and why roses are white and why some other why roses, you know. So yeah, exactly. It's just to study, just to understand why some skins are more luxurious than other skins. And I was like, okay, first of all, what kind of skin I want? Oh, I want a jacket that is connected to the car. Okay, lamb is interesting because lamb is very fine, and lamb is very
soft.
It's very sensitive, and yeah, exactly. And lamb can maybe connect me even more to the car. You know, it's like a second skin. So let's go with lamb. Okay, I studied lamb. I researched lamb. Okay, there's different type of lamb, different breeds, and in the breeds there's different classifications. Oh my God, okay. And there is a classification called Antrefino. And Antrefino is the finest of all lambs. Okay? So I took a shot on, because Antrefino you can only find in Spain. Well, you can find a little bit in Italy, but really in Spain.
So it's a rare breed.
Mm-hmm. And I took a shot on a farmer of Antrefino. And I found him on Google, whatever. His name is Miguel. Shout out to Miguel. Okay.
Shout out.
And so I spoke to Miguel. Miguel was really nice. We spoke for a year. Okay. So no product yet, right? No product yet. I just spoke to this farmer, and he taught me a little bit about Antrefino, and we spoke about cars. And every month we would talk. And after a year, I told Miguel, I said, Miguel, you know what? I'm coming to travel. I'm coming to see you, to meet you. Let's meet in Barcelona, and let's have supper there. So I took all my air miles that I stacked up for years, and I put it into
that trip.
One night. No, not the trip. Okay. One night in one of the most luxurious hotel in Barcelona. It was like between the Hermes and the Rolex store, you know. And I had like the smallest room in that hotel. But so I went there.
Worth it.
Yeah. So he drove down from the north to meet me at Barcelona. And then
this impression counts.
Exactly. And then we met. He told me more about what he does, and we just a first meeting, you know. And I asked him at some point, I said, Miguel, from all your customers, because he sells raw skins, he sells the meat to butchers, and then the skin that is left, what do you do with the skin? Nobody eat the skins. You throw it in the garbage? No. He sells the skins to tanneries, but he sells Antrefino. It's the finest skin that you can find, you know, and for lamb. So you cannot sell it to anybody. It needs a special skill to work with. So his skins is sold to top tanneries. So I knew that. So I knew that if he refers me to somebody, it's going to be a good
fit,
a good contact, a good connection. But I told him, I said, Miguel, from all the customers you sell to, which one from your customers transform your skins into the best finished product, which is leather?
I want the best.
The best. And then he told me, I have two names for you. One name, they are the best in the world. They make for Dior. They make for Louis Vuitton. Because Louis Vuitton, they don't have a tannery, just one tannery for themselves. They have contractors, and also leather. You buy leather there's leather for shoes. It's not the same leather that you use for bags treatment, or that you use for garments, right?
Yeah.
So they deal with them too. And he said they do for Celine, blah, blah, blah. And I said, okay. He said, but they are extremely expensive. Okay. And I have another name. I'm like, stop, Miguel. I don't want to know. Oh, no, that's it. He said, I have another name. So I concluded, okay, it's not the best, you know. So I said, I don't want to know the other name. Just put me in contact with these people. So
I like what you're doing with the quality. You're chasing the quality, the finest, and the traveling you did. And I find that I cut you there because I just want to put this input, but there's a strong willpower there behind your story.
Mm-hmm.
And where I'm starting to recognize like patterns of one of the first questions I wanted to ask you, if you were obsessed. And now that I'm listening to your story, is like, yes, it answers my question that I didn't ask. Yes, there's an obsession behind. And lately, I came to meet certain type of people, or just discover on the web people. And one thing I realized people have in common that have this thirst to really go to the next step is the obsession.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hearing your story like there's a thirst for like
It's also survival.
survival, huh?
Yeah, it's survival because that's what keeps me in my car 24/7 again, you know? That's what keeps me alive. So I have no choice to do it. If I stop doing what I'm doing right now, I don't know. I'm going to feel threatened,
Yeah.
you know?
How old were you when you got the contact, like the finest?
Okay, so there you go. So now I had to fly over there. I had to fly in.
Where is it?
It was in Naples.
Okay.
And somebody in the industry, one of my early mentor told me, you know, never go to Naples alone. And I remember that. He said, like, be careful over there. It's super dangerous. So I was like, oh, my God, okay, but I have no choice to go, you know. Miguel tells me. But I was super naive. What the heck? Like, you just meet this farmer that you just spoke on Google. You don't really know him. And now you listen to him. And you go to Naples. I was super naive, you know. But I went to Naples. So I go to Naples in Italy. And I take couch surfing. I meet this guy. And then I'm like, okay, so what are you doing tomorrow? I'm like, I'm going to Casandrino. I'm like, Casandrino? Yeah, I'm going to Casandrino. And he looks at me like, takes a step back. I'm like, the fuck? Well, and then I'm like, what's wrong? Luca, his name is Luca. Shout out to Luca.
Shout out to Miguel and Luca.
And then I'm like, what's wrong, Luca? And Luca, I say, well, you know, Casandrino is the most dangerous neighborhood in Naples. I'm like, oh, nice to hear, you know. And then I'm like, okay, so from what I understand, I'm in the most dangerous city in Italy, and I'm going in the most dangerous neighborhood of that city. Okay, well, since I'm here now, so
I have to go.
Exactly. So I had this brand new car that I rented, and you know, in Italy you got to be careful when you rent cars, you know. And anyway, all the cars around me are destroyed. All the cars, because everyone they drive like crazy. Italians are crazy. There's something they say in Italy: if you can drive in Naples, you can drive everywhere in the world.
Fuck.
And it's true. Like, I was driving and I would have to put the window down, put the mirror in, because if I didn't do that, the bus would have ripped it off.
Didn't give a fuck.
And after, you have to put the window back up because there's guys in motos that they can put their hand inside your car and steal you something.
Oh, shit.
So you got to do that. And then, oh, there's another bus coming on the other side. Oh, you got to put the window down and put that mirror in. And then it's always like that. And then put it back. Oh, it's crazy. And then you have to learn how to drive like them. Because if you don't drive like them, and if you drive like you drive in Montreal, your car, you won't make it, you know?
Fresh meat in jail.
So, so then I was following Google Maps, you know, okay, I'm going to that place, to that tannery, whatever. And then I get to Casandrino, and everything is destroyed, man.
Shit.
Everything is, it's not pretty, man. It's not pretty, okay? No offense if anybody is from there listening to the podcast right now, but it's not very pretty, you know? And the
hood.
Yes, exactly. So I'm like, where the heck did Miguel send me, you know? So I follow Google Map, and then it's like, okay, 200 meters away, you arrive at the destination. I look left, I see those buildings with people like with tattoos, tats, you know? And they're topless, and they look at me from their porch, and they look at me going there with my new car. And I'm like, oh my God. And then I'm like, did I really believe that farmer I just spoke to, you know, on the internet? And then Google say, you have arrived. I have arrived? Okay. I look right, look left. Oh, I see a white wall. I said, okay, this must be it, you know. Let's follow the white wall. So I follow the white wall. And I arrive in front of a fence. I parked the car like a nice looking fence, like a fancy one, you know. and like a brushed aluminum fence. And I park the car. I get out. I look. There's a intercom. You know, I just press enter or whatever, and I see a high-tech camera lighting up. Looks at the car. Looks back at me, and then they say my name. I'm losing my shit. They say, Mr. Martinez. I'm like,
waiting for you.
We were waiting for you. Yeah, we were expecting you.
Hey.
And then the fence opened, and then I just see an empty parking lot with grass cut this sharp, very like cut super well, and like trees and no cars in the parking lot. And I see this beautiful architecture. I'm like, what the heck is this? You know, I felt like in the Matrix or something, because across the street, all the buildings are destroyed, right?
Trash.
It's like trash, yeah. So I'm like, what the heck is this? This is so random. Never seen that in my life. And then I see behind, in the back of the parking lot, I see this woman walking towards me, and she wears a beautiful, not like a suit or something corporate, you know, no, just a beautiful silky flower dress. And she comes to me, okay, my name is Anna, na, na, na. Nice meeting you. Oh my God, you're so young, na, 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 because I was like 23 or something. And she ends out to me the VIP pass to visit the place, the facility.
Mm-hmm.
Then she takes me to an empty room. I'm like, what the heck? She leaves me in the room. There's security agent behind like glass. They look at me. I think they were like making sure that I was not an industrial spy or something. And then they're okay, he's good to go. And then I meet Anna again. We do a tour of the place. She showed
like a big place, like a big estate.
Yeah. All modern, all like, it was crazy. And it was so clean. I was impressed, man. And then Anna tells me, this is where we're gonna make your finish. This is where we make the test on letter, the performance test. This is where we make this special finish with aluminum and something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I stopped listening to Anna, because next to me there's a pile of bright red skins.
Oof.
And I'm just hypnotized.
Yeah, you're just looking at it like, yo, I want that one.
I'm just hypnotized, man. My mind is somewhere else.
Was it like a red like that?
No. Just like not the same type of red. I looked at the skins. I'm gone. And Anna sees that I'm gone. And she pokes me and she's like, this is Louboutin. I'm like, oh, like the red skin that you see under like the soles? Like, yeah. Like, okay.
Oh,
And then I'm like, and then in my head I'm like, thank you, Miguel. And then she's like, because she wanted me to calm down, she's like, okay, and this is Celine, and this is Dior, and then I'm like, oh my God, okay, I'm at the right place, you know. And then she takes me to another room, and she takes out a little book and a pen, and she say, okay, so what's gonna be your order? And then I look at her. Because I know how expensive it's going to be. So I tell her, you know what? It's very, very hot right now. I'm not feeling well. I think I'm feeling dizzy, you know. I need some... Hugo, are you okay? Do you want water? Do you want lasagna, something? I'm like, okay, lasagna, please. And then she takes me to the cafeteria and she brings me lasagna. And then I'm like, you know what, Anna? I'm not well today. It's okay, you go, take your time. I'm like, yes, I'm going to call you for the order, okay? I'm going to call you. And then she gives me the business card. And then I left the place, you know.
So that's it. Just
that was the first meeting. It's just like I didn't know what to say, you know. I needed to know the prices too.
Struck.
Yeah, and the guy Miguel told me it was extremely expensive. I cannot talk about the prices, but it's extremely expensive. It's close. It's the most you can pay for a lamb.
It's 5 digits, like mid.
I cannot talk about price, but it's extremely expensive. And yeah, so then they put me in touch with other people, and that's how the story started, you know. But now I only knew about leather, the material. I needed to think about the design, and I needed to think about colors, and yeah. So
you had your supplier now. You had your supplier.
Yeah.
Now you just needed the design.
And also, but there's a lot of things I didn't know that I needed to know. Such as the type of craftsmanship you need to work with this type of leather, because I thought, okay, anybody that can make leather can make leather garments or leather shoes or leather or bags can work with my ideas. No, you need somebody. If you want to make a garment, a leather garment, you need somebody that is specialized with leather garments, and if you use Entrefino, if you use very fine skin, you need somebody that has a lot of experience and that is very good with this end, you know, somebody that is perfectionist, you know. It's very hard to find, especially in Montreal, super hard to find, if not almost impossible to find. So at the beginning, I ordered a very small quantity. I made a deal with them, and since I was young, they agreed to. You know, I'm nothing for them. I was nothing for them. I'm still nothing for them because they deal with very big brands like Gucci, even. Yeah, Gucci. So, I needed to think about the design. And I wanted to make a product that would be iconic. I wanted to make a different shape. I wanted to make a product that really made me feel like myself and made me feel in a race car. So I thought about a different shape. Okay, no, I don't want it square. I want it curvy, like a road, like you follow a road. So this is it. You have a curve in front. And I want it to be like a signature. I want the design to be a signature. I want people to recognize
the signature.
Exactly.
Like, to me, that looks like maybe like a cobra, when a cobra raises. Oh yeah,
that's true. Yeah, that's the first time I hear that. Yeah. And so I took maybe a year to find that shape, minimum. So. That's a lot of time, you know.
So how many drafts did you make before finding the right one?
I got maybe 1,000. I don't know.
And how did you feel when you had the right one? Was it a gut feeling this is the one?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I know this is the one.
Intuitive. Mm-hmm. So now you got the design, you got the supplier.
Yeah, but I need the person
that's going
that can execute the work. That can sew.
So that's another story.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So that's another story, man. And I tried it with a lot of people because I really wanted to be in Montreal, and also I wanted to be close to that person. I wanted to be there all the time. And I tried it with a lot of people, and I got screwed up so many times, man. Some people would say, that's the problem with Montreal, man. The problem with Montreal is that when you want to do good work,
they take you for granted. They take you for granted.
No, it's hard to find people that really put a lot of passion in their work. It's very hard, to be honest. And a lot of people will tell you, I can do it. But a lot of people will tell you that because they want your money. Mm-hmm. And then you give them the money, they make the project, and even if you don't give the money, they do the work. The work is not good. You're like, my God, what is this? And you still have to pay them. You're gonna pay them. So I had to pay people for ruining my skins.
Oh shit.
And also delivering me a product that I don't even want to show. Only recently, I've been doing this for years, man, and only recently that I judged that, okay, now I'm ready to show. But before that, I would take the jacket that people would give me and throw it in the garbage. I would cut it. So there's a guy, I don't want to say his name, but he said, I sew for this person and that person. A lot of people, when people tell me that, I sew for this one and look at my Instagram. When I look at my Instagram, look at who I work with, that's a major red flag for me. That's a major red flag, because almost every time when somebody say that, it's because they're shit. and
All right.
and, wait, and let's keep it real. That guy, he costed me maybe $6,000 in total, because you include the craftsmanship and you include the materials. The material I gave him, and I threw the product in the garbage.
Cool. I want to fast forward. So now, the story has a great sentiment to it, and I like that. So one thing I was hearing you talk about previously is selling. I was curious to see, really, because you have showed it to few people through interest in celebrities, and I'm curious to see really how the sales process is, and really what's the current how the sales process is just to begin, because it seems like there may be an agent that's trying to push it, and then you're trying to close, because you're definitely in a business where it's a high-end product, let's say a Rolls Royce of the leather jackets, and
the Bugatti.
The Bugatti, boom, that's it. The Bugatti of the leather jackets, and it's limited edition. It's custom at some point, I would say.
The colors are custom. The zippers are custom.
It looks like the type of product that you put in the right celebrities is something that could just explode, like many brands have done.
Yeah.
So what is the sales process when you're trying, let's say, to sell this? Because once again,
so
I feel like
my idea was not to. I didn't want to put it like a lot of people do with fashion brands. They make an influencer.
Yeah, an influencer.
Influencer wear the stuff for free, or they pay them, and then they even pay celebrities and to show their product. I didn't want to do that. I really wanted to connect with the people that would relate to the story, and people that are different and special people, because this is a special product. It's not a product that goes in the shelf on the shelves, and then it's just another product that is there, No. It's much more than that. It's my life, So
it's a soul.
Yes.
It's a product with a soul, and
so.
It's just like a little pet animal that has a soul that thinks, and then you learn you choose, let's say, your little puppy, which one is going to be my puppy for the rest of my life.
Exactly.
And that's the one I choose. That's how I want it, with the Hugo Martinez stitches on it. And that becomes, let's say, one. You become one with the jacket. So definitely it's something that's very marketable at a unique. And I like how you're very selective with the people who you want to sell it to.
So when I first started, like every designer, you have a mood board, and on your mood board you put your inspiration. Some designers, they put fabrics. Some designers, they put pictures of architecture. Some designer put pictures of celebrities, of anything, of other brands. And me, I put pictures of the people that influenced me. And on my mood board, there was Ayrton Senna, Sylvester Stallone, Mick Jagger, Michael Jackson, and James Goldstein.
Okay, so you got one.
And all these people I put on the mood board, they were there for a reason and for a different reason. So let's say Sylvester Stallone, I like how he present himself. Maybe I wouldn't see him wearing my jacket, but I like his energy. And Michael Jackson, he was just like wearing the best, the nicest leather jackets, And there was James Goldstein. And James Goldstein is, nobody can dress like James Goldstein. He's the only one in the world that can wear what he wears. And he's the best at being himself. I told James, because I met him, and I said, James, you are the Michael Jackson of being yourself. So anyway, how did I meet James? That's another story. So I took a chance, and I went on his website. It's like info at James. I wrote to his email address, which is like info at jamesgoldstein.com. And I asked if I asked if I could meet James Goldstein, or if I asked something like I wanted to talk to them.
Yeah, you went together.
Okay? And I put my phone number. And next day I was working, and I was at work, and I get a call from like Beverly Hills. I'm like, what the heck? Oh my God, are you kidding? Like, this is them? I pick up the phone, and her name is Roberta, and she's the executive assistant of James Goldstein. So she tells me, okay, so I saw your message. It's not so clear what you want. So what do you want exactly? And then I told her, like, I would feel blessed to see James Goldstein like wear one of my jackets. It's been a huge inspiration for me for years, blah, blah, blah. And then, okay, just send one over, I'm like, oh my God, this is great, but I want to meet him, And I didn't know how to say that because I don't know, I was shy, or I didn't know if she would like accept me, or so I wasn't so clear. So she said, listen, I have a call right now. I really got to take it. So just like write to him. I'm like, what? Okay. So then she gives me
his email address.
His phone.
Okay.
So, or wait, no, his email address. Yeah. So I wrote down the email address, and then I was like, okay, let's try to contact him. But I didn't send an email. I put in, because I wanted to see if the email address was registered in the iCloud,
Okay.
If it would, like, when you write the email on your phone, if it turns blue, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I wrote, and I'm like, oh my God, it turns blue. That means
that
when I'm gonna write him, he's gonna see it like that. It's gonna jump to his phone, It's gonna jump on his phone. So I wrote him, and he replied to me. I lost my shit. He replied. Yeah, I lost my shit, man. I saw, oh my God, he's texting me right now, and I'm texting to James Goldstein, and I was jumping, and I was calling a friend. I was like, oh my God, I'm talking to James Goldstein right now, and then and by the way, when all of this happened, I was working,
Mm-hmm.
and so I'm like, okay. So I tell him the same thing, like that I would feel blessed to see him wearing a jacket. And he tells me, can you show me pictures? So I send pictures, and he said, nice.
That was that one?
I think, no, another color.
What color?
That color I'm wearing right now. And another one that is like almost all red and white in the middle. And he said, just like nice, because James, he doesn't speak much, so he just said nice. He just said nice. And I'm like, oh my God, this is not enough, So I ask him, I tell him, like, the quality you can only appreciate in person or whatever, and you really have to see it in person. Like, could I meet you? And then he's like, yes. And I'm like, oh my God, okay.
Another
so
trip.
where would you feel more comfortable meeting? And then he's like, at my house. And I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy, because James Goldstein has the most beautiful house to me in the United States.
And when was that in the timeline to understand really where
that's
you're
like a month ago? No, a month ago, something like that.
April.
Yeah.
Avril.
Yeah.
Right around the block.
Yeah.
So you did a milestone just recently.
Yeah, but wait a second. Yeah, but wait a second. Like, I had 4 days, because I said, okay, I'm going to meet you this weekend. And I said, perfect, Saturday. And then, okay. So I was working like 11 hours a day, and I had to plan the trip too. It was crazy.
What's your current job?
Huh?
What's your current job now that takes so long? That you do 11 hours a...
No. My job at the time, because right now I don't work for anybody, but at the time my job was
But at the time that was like
I was
a
working.
month ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly, at the time. What the heck?
At the time, that's what I was like. At the time, that was like last month.
Yeah, exactly. I was working in a COVID clinic.
Okay.
Yeah. And yeah, so I had
So
to plan. I had to plan the trip and everything, and I was planning. Okay, I have to tell my boss that I'm gonna be sick this weekend, and I go to LA. You know.
Yeah. Superstar
And-
shit. Damn.
And
Doesn't stop.
yeah, and it was my first time going to LA. I had to find the Airbnb too. I have a friend that helped me, and I had to also do the COVID test, the rapid test. I had to find time, you know, and I had to do another dose of vaccine because I had 2 doses of vaccine, but the brands were different. So I had Covishield, which is AstraZeneca, and Pfizer, but I needed 2 Pfizer to travel or something like that. And so I had the stress, you know, of doing the at least I worked in a COVID clinic, so that was easy.
So how does it, what happened like to Goldstein when you meet him?
So first of all, I got fired like a few hours before taking the plane. So that was crazy.
Nice.
Because the day James Goldstein called me, I felt so happy and so hyped that the next morning I put my racing. I have a Ferrari racing cap. I put it on. I put some music. I was in the kitchen, and I was just dancing and just feeling myself, you know, and just like being so happy that, oh my God, this guy that, like, you know, was on my mood board, and like one of my biggest fashion, or if not my biggest fashion inspiration,
called me and about to see.
Exactly, and I'm texting him right now, and like, this is amazing. So I was putting some music. I had to go to work, you know, and I forgot I was wearing my racing cap. So I got to work with my racing cap on. I knew that when I would sit at the computer, I would take the cap off and, like, you know, work, you know. So I was not worried about that. But then I came across my boss. I walked past my boss, and I said, hi. One of my boss, you know, and she looked at me head to toe, gave me like a weird look, and she ignored me. And I was like, okay, this was nice, you know. I'm like, oh, you stupid, you still where you're at. And that matters to them because they take themselves so seriously, you know. So I was making her look bad with me with this bright Ferrari cap in the clinic with everybody, like, you know, not everybody was looking at us, but that's what maybe she thought, you know? So then I was like, okay, fun. Now I'm going to have a meeting with her probably. So a few hours later, they're like, okay, we got to meet you. Hugo Martinez, we need to meet you tomorrow at the office. So I leave after tomorrow for LA. And I'm like, oh my God, they want to meet me for that stupid hat or what, you know? So then the next day, first of all, I text them, I'm like, you know what? We have a new union, like syndicat in French. I'm like, I'm tired. In my head, I was like, I'm tired of all this shit, of being called in the office. So you walked out? Of being called in the office for stupid things, really stupid things. And I want a representative of the union to be with us at the meeting. And then the next day, they didn't even gave me the chance to contact the union. They took me to the office, and they said, we terminate your contract. I'm like, what? Yes, we terminate your contract.
And that's good.
And then, wait. And I was shocked because, you know what? I worked 60 to 70 hours for a year with no break for them. I gave them everything. And that's how they finished me. So I told them, why do you terminate the contract? It's like, they're like, you are, you lack professionalism. You're not professional enough. I'm like, oh my God, it's really about this damn cap in my head. That's what I'm saying. Okay. And then I'm like, do you have examples? And then she's like, nah. And also once you were late, that time when you were driving the car and you were at a coffee shop, that's what we heard. Yeah, it was like 5 minutes. Anyway, they just dig deep to find a reason.
To find that.
Exactly. And then they fired me, so I was very emotional because I'm, oh my God, like I lost it. Like I really liked the job, by the way. I liked helping people. I liked being there and feeling like I was like contributing and stuff. So like, and I gave a lot. yeah.
I want to cut you, but I want to get to the story. Just running out of time.
Yeah.
I just want to get to the story.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Goldstein.
So yeah, well then so I a few hours later I was on the plane to go to LA, and in the plane I never cry. I was crying all the way to LA because I was sad of losing the job, and also I was so
You're happy of doing it.
so many emotions, you know. And so when I got there, I got a bit crazy. As soon as I arrived, I ran like 23K because I wanted to feel myself. I wanted to be extreme. I wanted to be at my best, you know, because I wanted to get ready for that meeting. The next morning, I had one day to like kind of not rest, but be there and understand the city. I wasn't there to like, I thought, oh, maybe.
So it was going to be a one-on-one with him? It's going to be a one-on-one with him?
Exactly.
At his house?
Yeah, exactly. But I had one day to like kind of like reflect or do other things or like do the tourist. I never seen the Hollywood sign, and I didn't go for that, you know. I ran again the next morning, like, I don't know, like 10, 12K. And then I kind of like just walked around Beverly Hills to understand how
people behave, or what's like the vibe of
what's the vibe,
California.
Exactly. And
get into it.
Exactly. And then the next day,
some sun.
Exactly. So the next day I went to, I took a Uber and I went to his place, and then I got in front of his gate in Beverly Hills, and I waited there for like 20 minutes, man. It felt like forever. And I was like, oh my God, I hope he didn't forget me, you know. And then I texted him. I'm like, James, I'm here. I'm at the gate. I see red, you know, on the read, on the message, on the text message. I'm like, oh my God. And then no answer. But then like 2 minutes later, I hear like, and it's the sound of his car, of his old Rolls Royce coming. So I see the car coming down. I see the angel. I see the grill of Rolls Royce. He has like this old Rolls Royce that only 50 of them were made, and it's like a 1961 drop-head Rolls Royce. And I'm like, I'm nervous, you know. My heart beats, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm meeting this legend, you know. And then I see him with his pink cap and with his hair going in the wind, and he's like, I apologize for the delay, you know. I'm like, no worries.
No worry. You're the man.
And I felt.
I'll wait 1 more hour for you.
Yeah, and right then I felt good. I felt
you had a connection
relaxed.
with him.
Yes, exactly. Because right there, like I said, yeah, like it was so calm and easygoing that I didn't feel stressed.
So
I didn't feel I was around a legend, you know. And I followed this car down, and yeah. So
that was like a lifetime changing moment in your career.
Exactly. And he loved the jacket. He loved the jacket. So it meant so much to me.
So now you have like one soul that's purchased, and what's next after that? Where are you going? What is your plan? Where are you going with this?
So that's the thing. When I was with James told me, because he told me we were in his living room, I think, and he stopped me and he said, you know, because when I approached him, I said, I'm going to give you the jacket, you know, because I don't mind gifting my jacket to someone that I admired so much. It was like, for me, it was like the same thing as meeting Michael Jackson, you know? So he said, I'm going to purchase your jacket. And I looked at him, and even though I needed money, and even though I needed money, I said, no, you're not gonna purchase it. Like I said, it's a gift, and you keep it, you know. And then he looked at me, and he took my arm.
I'll give you a tip.
No. And he told me, from all the people that came to my place, you're the only one that gifted me something that I liked. And then I was like, damn. because James is not young,
Yeah, he's
so
old. I saw the picture.
He's seen a lot of people, and he got a lot of people. So for him to tell me that meant so much, man. I had like goosebumps all around my body, And yeah.
So you gave him a body, you gave him a skin, a soul.
Yeah, I gave him a part of myself, yeah. And I gave him my favorite color, my favorite jacket, yeah.
Very inspirational story. I like everything you just said. I like how we start from the beginning to really the trauma, even but before that. But in this whole story, and I'm proud that Yellow Seat is going to have a very unique story, very inspirational from the beginning to the end. And that you'll be able to show this, because have you told this story the way you told it now to other people?
Yes, of course. I met Dennis Rodman in Miami.
But it's in a podcast form, what we're doing right now, not to like a celebrity. Have you told this in a recorded format?
No, never, no.
So that's what I'm trying to say, is that there's something interesting there that I guess you're going, because there's a story behind it. I don't know how long I've been listening, but it's a nice story that I get. There's a lot of details to it that's very important that creates really the branding of this. Yeah. And I find that anyone who's going to be able to listen to that story with the details, because once you meet, let's say, a celebrity like that, you don't have, let's say, an hour and a half to maybe go details. So sometimes there's something that quick that you need to grasp the attention the same way that email grasped that attention and went from that other message to another message that got you to James Goldstein. So let's say when people get to see really a trigger message that they get from you, and then boom, they get to hear the story in the audio format. Like this is what you're about to purchase, and then boom, open the doors.
But it's not just about like it's not really about the purchase, and it's not even about the leather jacket. Why I tell the story, it's because if there's somebody listening and somebody that is going through something like that, or somebody that needs to know that it's possible to go through that, because it's possible, it's possible to go through that and to have a good life, even a better life. I've never felt so healthy in my life.
So this is like
till this day,
exactly.
Like today, like I feel so healthy, man.
It's great to hear.
It takes a lot of work. So whoever is listening and is going through psychosis or a trauma, it's not going to be easy.
What would be a title that you will name this podcast based on this? Because I'm trying to think of a title like The Product with a Soul, how to redeem from...
Yeah, Product with a Soul would be a good one, yeah.
Because it's powerful. Like from the beginning you said that it struck me as a title, and I even made you repeat it. And we have a story of a soul here with Yellow Seat, and it's something that's very it's thoughtful, it's inspiring, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be other people who are going to listen to your story on how every step, on how not to give up, on how to follow your dream, on how to try to like find your repairs. I like the Rolls Royce story, like it's very iconic, and now to you to reach your milestone. So just like that, next, like, if people really want to get to it, how, do you have a website? Do you have, how do you market it? Because I saw your Instagram. I see the models. Are you going to display the story behind your brand in social media?
Yes. The story will be there. There's a little parts of the story in my Instagram. And it's very a secret brand. It's for elite profile, elite celebrities. And I keep it on Instagram. I keep it secret. And, I keep it low-key.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he wore like his skin. Like, I think he felt, even before I heard the story, the way he wore it, like he said, it feels like it's... c'est quoi que tu dis? C'est quoi que tu dis quand tu l'as porté? C'est comme, c'est fait pour moi. C'est fait pour moi, and like ça s'appelle le slogan, c'est vraiment social media, like the marketing campaign. C'est fait pour moi, it's made for me.
Well, the feeling you get from wearing that jacket is very extreme.
I'm jealous I didn't feel it because it didn't fit.
The quality is extreme. The colors are extreme.
Well, that's the thing. Is like,
the fit is extreme.
This is an ice cream that I can't even taste. But so you want to target, let's say, is going to be for the elite, very limited edition.
It is.
How many, let's say, copies can you make a year? On putting all the craftsman and the passion into it.
Okay, 50.
50?
Yeah.
That's perfect. Is there a retail price?
Yeah.
How much?
Oh, it's in person. I can only speak about price in person.
So if you want to know, if you want to feel a product from the soul, it has to be in person. And based on his story, he will travel to see you.
Exactly.
He will go anywhere in the world to come take care of you. Hey, Hugo Martinez, look, I'm very happy to have you here. The story was amazing.
Thank
Inspiration. I know we're going to save some people out of despair, depression, or anything,
just to
or
give
just
them
anxiety.
hope, you know, give hope to people.
Give hope.
And yeah, and remember that you got to work hard. Like it's really like working hard every day and never giving up. And it's not going to be easy. You're not going to get there by sitting on your couch and reading some inspirational stuff or like or listening to. You really gotta work hard. You gotta do the steps.
You have to be
and
thirsty.
Just to give you an idea, today I work out every single day and I don't miss a day. I run minimum. I don't go for less than 10K every day. But ever since I made those commitment, my life changed for the better. And yeah. So I really recommend cardiovascular activities. This is the best. And also don't drink alcohol and don't smoke drug. And yeah.
You heard the message. Stay safe. And Hugo Martinez, it was a pleasure having you. Product with a Soul jacket. Damn, that was great. Thank you. Sir, UFC podcast, baby. We keep inspiring.